Hey everyone, welcome to Sam's Sports Corner episode 14. We're going to talk a little bit about college players skipping their bowl games. We're going to talk about some fantasy football, and we're going to talk about our idiot of the week. So here we go. Christian McCaffrey of Stanford and Leonard Fournette of LSU have decided to skip their bowl games in order to prepare for the draft. Now, it's got a lot of people torn either way. I understand both sides. On one hand, I get that these young men don't want to screw themselves out of millions of dollars by getting hurt in a game that doesn't matter, in which they can prepare for an extra month before the combine to get better draft stock. So I get their side of it. On the other hand, it's really shitty to the team. This is a team that's counted on them all year. I mean, they're the best players on their teams, and they're now going to have to play without them in the biggest game of the year. It's shitty to the fans who bought tickets and were excited for a good game. In decent bowl games, they're going to the Sun Bowl and the Citrus Bowl, respectively. And I just think it's shitty to the fans that they're not going to get to watch the best players on the field. And it's super shitty to the sponsors. Now, when we think about the sponsors of these games, they pick the teams for these games based on revenue, basically. Wins and revenue. It's usually corresponding. And now the best player of each team on one side of the field is not going to be there. It's definitely going to change the outcome of the game and make it less good, and that's going to hurt the sponsors' money revenue. It's terrible for them. So I understand both sides of this coin. The one thing I will have to say, though, is a definitive, is that Ezekiel Elliott needs to shut the hell up. Ezekiel Elliott came out and was like, I'd give anything to play one more game with my boys in the, red and gray or whatever Ohio State's shitty colors are, except play his senior year. He left college 1 year early to go to the draft, and then he's going to come back and say, I want to play with my boys again. No, you can't have your cake and eat it too, Ezekiel Elliott. Shut up. You're wrong. You did what both these guys are doing, and they're thinking of the money, which is exactly what you thought of. And there's nothing wrong with that as a young man to think of the money. Don't admonish them for doing the same thing you did. Next up, we're going to talk about Todd Gurley in fantasy football. Anyone who has a fantasy football team understands disappointment in players. I, myself, thought I had a good team at the start of the year, and they totally bombed all year. I did terrible. I came in second to last in my league. And so I understand frustration with the players that you pick and you count on. I don't quite go as far as Mr. Keith Stone did, who tweeted at Todd Gurley after his performance on Thursday night, had 14 rushes for 38 yards in their loss. He ran like crap. And he tweets at Todd Gurley and talks about fighting him over his fantasy performance. Well, Todd Gurley tweets back and says, pull up then, in his, hard-ass fashion on Twitter, because they're both big men. And Keith Stone literally burns him to the ground with his next tweet. It is brilliant. And this is why I think players should stay off Twitter, because, to be honest, I doubt Todd Gurley is a Rhodes Scholar. And these people sit on Twitter like all day, have all day to think of ways to respond to totally torch you. Keith Stone says, I've been waiting on you in the end zone. Where you at? Boom. Roasted. Like, Todd Gurley, you've played like shit. Let it go. Let the man tweet at you. He's frustrated. He probably lost money on picking you. And you're going to tweet back at him? Okay, well, enjoy the anal rapage that is coming your way in the form of an insult. And the fact that you suck and you haven't been in the end zone enough to even find him to fight him. That is brilliant, Keith Stone. Todd Gurley, get your publicist to fix your Twitter. Next, on the Idiot of the Week. And this is another story of why NFL players should stay off Twitter, because they do stupid shit with it. Emmanuel Sanders, the other night against the Patriots, went 3 of 6 for 48 yards. His team scored a total of 3 points. The Broncos scored 3 points against the Patriots. They did terrible offensively. But this dumb SOB tweets, Malcolm Butler shut me down, ? My 2-year-old, or he says child please at first, like this is the 90s. And a 2-year-old could play cover 2, or his 2-year-old son specifically could play cover 2. And went off about how Malcolm Butler didn't shut him down. I'm sorry, Malcolm Butler did shut you down. Am I supposed to forget that I watched the game? Am I supposed to believe your tweet over what I saw with my own eyes, that you played like dick all? No, Emmanuel Sanders, you're an idiot. You played like crap. Just let it go. Just be like, okay, yeah, Malcolm Butler's a good cornerback. He shut me down. No, instead you have to take to Twitter and let everyone know exactly how stupid you are. Like, why do these people not have to send their tweets in to a professional to be like, hey, Emmanuel, I'm not going to let you tweet this because it's stupid. And it's going to make everybody hate you. Because I get being competitive and thinking you're great, but when you go 3 for 6 for 48 yards, you're not great. You're playing like shit. And Malcolm Butler did do a good job covering him all night. And I really wish the idiot of the week didn't have to happen, but it does. So you guys get to enjoy it, and I get to enjoy making fun of these idiots. So Emmanuel Sanders and Todd Gurley need to get themselves some publicists, and Ezekiel Elliott does too, probably. So you guys have a good week, and I can't wait to see you on Thursday.